Race fans, this is the one you've been waiting for. The highly anticipated debut of Funny Car Chaos is coming to Lebanon Valley Dragway. It's run which have brung ground-pounding funny car action like you've never seen before. Daily adult admission $30 and kids 10 and under get in free. Free camping for spectators with pit pass. Visit dragway.com and funnycarchaos.com for more info. Make your plans to join us for Funny Car Chaos at Lebanon Valley Dragway, September 19th and 20th. You just gotta be there.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chaos Live. It is a Wednesday night, and it's time to get your fix on some of the best drag racing in the known universe. My name's David. I'll be your voice in the chaos at several chaos events, and we have got 3 of them in a row coming up as we are down to the end of the season. And coming up, we have got this weekend down at Lebanon Valley over in New York at Lebanon Valley Dragway. We've got the Funny Car Chaos event going on there, and you can find out all the information on funnycarchaos.com, or you can find it on our Facebook page and our social media outlets. And then that's the first of 3 in a row, as we have 2 championship finals coming up after that, as we will be going to Great Lakes Dragway for the championship finals. And that's what we're going to be keying on tonight, is talking about the championship finals for Funny Car Chaos, as we will crown perhaps another champion, perhaps a repeat champion. It's coming down to the wire once again, and we're going to be talking with all of our past champions, one of them being our current champion, and we will get their perspectives tonight on their championship runs and the mindset it takes to become a champion. So to give you a little bit of idea, the race over in at Lebanon Valley, we've got a couple of dozen funny cars that are entered for that one. It is an exhibition non-points event, but a great group of racers over there, a lot of them good friends and racing mates with Wayne Hoffman, as he's going to be racing at that event. So if you're wondering about the familiar faces that you might get a chance to see there this weekend at that event, you know, the Wayne Hoffman team, the China Syndrome bunch, they're planning to be there, and it should be a spectacular weekend of racing. And we will finish that race, head on over to Great Lakes Dragway, and that is one of those places that if you've been around drag racing for as long as I have, and any length of time whatsoever, you know that that's one of the places where a lot of the history of drag racing was written. So for us to have the opportunity to go up to Great Lakes Dragway and experience that special brand of magic that they've got up there, I've not been to a place that races as much as they do, as I think they race just about 24/7, 365. That's an exaggeration, but they do race during the season whenever it's warm enough for their racing season. They've got the gates open just about every day of the week. And so when we go up there in a week and a half, it's going to be the time for a championship finals event. And we have made our way through the season with new winners, new entries, new records. And of course, one thing that hasn't been new is the way the competition has been fierce. We've had so much activity at the on the points race, people showing up and showing out, and you know how that goes sometimes in drag racing. You show up and you have things go a little bit better than you might have even hoped for, and so it kind of prods you to go another race. Well, if it went that well this time, maybe it could go that well or even better another time. So the team gets excited, the sponsors line up, and everybody assigns their duties to everybody on the team so that they can be involved and at the races and making sure that things are happening. And boy, have we ever got a great championship chase, as we've got newcomer Brian Lewis in the thick of the battle, and also one of those guys that has the opportunity, along with Bob Alberti, to be a top 10 car. And Lewis has the opportunity to win the championship in his first season ever. He is just that close in points. Plus, he still has to finish the A field final from that race at Byron Dragway. So he will be squaring off against Lance Van Allen in the final from the A field of Byron Dragway. So that's a possible extra 10 points. You start looking at the drop race. You start looking at the race, the points that have not yet been accrued, particularly by Brian Lewis and Bob Alberti. Then you get a chance to see that the race at the top is extremely, extremely tight. Now, we have got 2024 champion Shayne Lawson in the thick of the battle, comes into the race number 4 in the points, and 2022 champion Kirk Williams comes into the championship finals number 6 in the points. And you start to do the finagling that goes along with the drop race and all that jazz, then they can move up a little bit, move up like one. I think Kirk actually moves up to number 5 in that scenario. Now, it comes down to making all the qualifying runs, where you qualify, and of course after that, then the win lights for 10 points and not getting a win light 5 points. Those are going to be the points that determine who takes home the championship. And this is going to be our 7th time for a championship, and we have got our first champion coming up for an interview here in just a little while. I'll tell you, we had such good fortune with Funny Car Chaos, and as it has developed and added Nitro Chaos into the mix, and coming up later in the year, we're going to be adding Fuel Altered Chaos to the mix. But our first champion was one of the best to ever play the game in the world of Funny Car Chaos, and you'll hear from him tonight. He's also got some of those championship credentials that preceded him into racing in Funny Car Chaos. But he set the bar very high, and that intensity, that level of competitiveness has followed suit from all the racers that decided to come and give it a go at Funny Car Chaos. So we'll be hearing from Ken Singleton as our first guest coming up here in just a few minutes. And then we're going to talk also with our succeeding champions. Ken was the champion in 2019, 20, and 21. And Kirk Williams took the title in 2022. Tom Furches proved the concept that you don't have to be the A-field car with the quickest and fastest performances to become a champion. And he definitely made that abundantly clear with his championship in 2023. And then last year, in what was perhaps the closest, most eventful final championship finals in the history of Funny Car Chaos, Fast Lane Shane Lawson got it done, and he is your reigning champion, and he goes into the championship finals this year with an opportunity to repeat as a champion, something that only Ken Singleton has ever managed to do before. So we are going to take our first little break, let you hear from one of our sponsors, and when we come back, you're going to get the chance to hear from the man himself, the guy we call the champ, Ken Singleton, right after this. We are back, and there is the guy we call the champ, Ken Singleton. Happy to have you joining us for this episode tonight of Chaos Live. Our things in Oklahoma.
Oh, they're good. Weather's good and working away.
Well, I know that you've got quite a few projects that people keep coming to you, and after all those championships, it's no wonder that they want to see if the man from Chickasha can help them. So we are going into the championship finals coming up, and now you're one of those guys that you won 3 championships in a row: 2019, 2020, the first one, the second one, and the third one. And like I have always told people, if there was a championship in 2018, you would have been the champion, because you raced in 3 events, and that's 9 rounds of racing, and you were undefeated. So when you missed that first race, and I know you've told this story before, but we have new listeners and new people watching Chaos Live. When you missed that first one and you saw what happened, you obviously made a decision to come funny car racing with Funny Car Chaos. Tell us about how that got your juices flowing.
Well, when the first race was going to happen, I'd been racing with the Outlaw Fuel Altered out of Texas, and Chris had told me that they were going to have this funny car race, and I had a body for my funny car for my Altered, which it was a funny car before I made it an Altered, and I tried done. So, but I really wanted to do it because that's what I always wanted to run. I always thought I wanted to run a funny car. And actually, in the boat world, we run a flat, and they used to call us the funny cars boats. So it was kind of something that I just wanted to do. And then when it happened, it just was my niche. I mean, I fit right into that thing.
Well, you definitely did, and you came out like a house of fire. And that first race at Mocan, there were 10 cars there going for an 8-car field. And had you raced at Mocan before?
No, I never had. I never did
Okay.
make it with an Altered. Um, yeah, it was a new experience. I mean, I'd never drove a car before, so the first pass was pretty exciting.
Well, the last pass that weekend was pretty exciting too, because you turned on that final wind light and got the chance to take home the trophy and the cash. So that was the start of what would become an amazing 4 years of racing in Funny Car Chaos. But when you guys decided to do that, you didn't come in to dabble stick your foot in the water and see if it's cold or anything. It looked like you had gathered the family and your team, and you guys came in from the outset with a killer mindset. Did that come from your competitive nature? Was that honed through your years in boats?
Well, probably a little bit of both. I mean, I really wanted to do that, and in the very beginning, my crew was not really 100% on board, but after that, they were. After we won it, but it was like a new adventure, and everybody's like, well, we're doing pretty good in this Altered deal, and I was like, man, that's not where I want to be. I want to be in this funny car deal, and but I had a crew. The crew that I had in the boat, some of those guys, in fact, David Dennis, that helps me this day, he raced with me in boats. Like, he's been with me forever. So I don't even know how to function without that guy. But, but I've always been kind of competitive. I was way competitive in boats. I mean, that's why I won 5 championships in boats. And I just have this drive. If you're going to go, you might as well win.
Well, and that's a heck of a mindset, and it shows through everything from now. I got to ask, did you get that from your mom? Because she shows up. It's serious business too.
Oh yeah, Mom, she's pretty dedicated. She was definitely dedicated in what she was good at, which was selling T-shirts. She was phenomenal. Um, my dad wasn't that guy, other than he was with a shotgun. He wanted to be the guy that nobody could outshoot with a shotgun, especially if he was bird hunting. But me and my brother both was brought up that way. If you're going to do it, you need to give it 110%, and if you can't figure it out, you need to figure out who to get you, help you to figure it out.
Sage advice. And on the shotgun, when I was coming up and doing a little quail hunting, I was from West Texas. There used to be so many quail out there, and I learned pretty quick that you don't just throw up the gun and shoot at it and hope that the pattern gets you something. You better put the bead on one, and if you're going to bring home some meat. And I really think that that's one of those lessons that maybe came through from your dad. You guys, like I said, you guys had championship on your mind. And I think that's something that all of our champions probably are going to say is it takes a commitment. And over the years, now you guys made it look easy, but I know for a fact it wasn't easy. And part of that championship mindset has to be a commitment to overcome adversity. And I know that you guys had to do some of that, right?
Yeah, you always got to overcome. You're most of the time when you show up at a race. I mean, you try to eliminate any of that before you get to the racetrack. But there's going to be times when things creep up that happen, and you have got to have the mindset in your crew that we have got to fix whatever goes wrong. I mean, if we have something go wrong with the car, if it, I mean, it's just a working problem. You got to keep working at it. I mean, you can't stop. So, um, I mean, I that was my deal. I just we can win. I mean, I didn't care where I qualified if you always wanted to be in the top half, but I'm like when it boils down to it, we only got to beat three cars. So that's our mindset. Let's qualify, and then we got to beat three cars, and we're doing one at a time, and we're going to get to the end.
Well, and that that one round at a time, it sounds like a cliche. That's what everybody says, no matter what the sport is. We're just going to take it one race at a time or one game at a time. As my one of my favorite sports, college football, is going on right now. Well, guys, we just got to take it one game at a time. But you know what? You can't win the final until you win the first round, can you?
That's exactly right. First round in me, it was always the hardest. I mean, it's always a day. With chaos, you do make a qualifier, but the track's always changing. It never stays the same. And if you ever get the first, you kind of get a roll. If once you start going, to me, it's easier. Once you kind of get the car's always got its feel, and you got to be ahead of the car. Once you kind of make a pass, and you're like, yeah, that went like we wanted. Well, then it kind of gets a little, in my mind, it leaves a little tension. Like you can feel more comfortable sitting in the car, and then you can get your job done.
So you've got 5 championships in boats, 3 championships in Funny Car Chaos. So you've been to the championship events quite a few times. And so as a driver, as a racer, as a team leader, for those who are coming into this championship finals event, the advice that you would give to one of them, and I know you've got a dog in this hunt, but what advice would you give a racer that is going into their championship finals as to how they need to be thinking going into that event?
Well, the biggest thing is be prepared. I mean, make sure your hot rod's ready to go. I mean, try to cover all them bases. I hated to work on a race car at the racetrack. And then once you get to the racetrack, just get your mind right and kind of come up with a game plan of what you think the car is going to run, and then go out and make it do it. If it'll do it, make it do it. And then you're just battling round to round, and hopefully you come out on top.
How much do you think about what the other guy's doing?
I never did. I always worried about me. I raced harder against myself than I ever did another car. Um, I tried to make it run as fast as I could make it run. And that ain't necessarily true. I didn't ever do that all the time. I did it fast enough that I thought would win that round. I'm not going to go out and wring its neck just so I can run say a 62 or a 65 or whatever. I'm not going to do that if a 75 would have won it. Um, that is the way I race. I just race what I think I got it covered. In the final, that is not. I mean, you got to the final, they got to the final. You better give it all you got.
Yeah, it is. It is wide open in the final. There's nothing else to save it for except the next event. So you definitely came there to take home the trophy and the most money and the most points. And this coming weekend, it's going to be taking home the championship. So, okay, from all of that, now you've got high risk performance, and we're extremely happy that you have come on board as one of our sponsors to keep Funny Car Chaos going down the road. And you've got some clientele that have come and are counting on you for their expertise. And so how's your business growing?
It's doing pretty good. We're building a race car for Keith Snyder and Jackson Snyder, and we're almost done. We'll be done by the end of the weekend. Um, We haven't tested this car, but it's going to be, I think, really close by the end of the weekend. And I've built some Chevrolets. I built several Chevrolets, and built Fred Spell a motor for his dragster. And I got a couple motors in here. One for a Pro Mod. It's just like the funny car. But we're getting there. I mean, it's a slow process, but we're getting there. One customer at a time.
Well, and that's
Guess his car he
good.
hasn't worked on.
I guess my first two guesses don't count.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'm glad to know that you've still got the car, Mama Joe, and we'll see you in it one of these days. Well, congratulations to the.
We'd run it more next year.
Okay. So congratulations are in order, the Singleton household, and we want to celebrate that wedding with you guys, and wish everybody extremely well. Hey, thank you so much for taking some time to be with us tonight, champ. It is always good to talk to you, whether we're talking away from the racetrack or at the track or talking with the whole world here on Chaos Live. It's great to have you, and we're going to look forward to seeing you up there at Great Lakes Dragway.
We're looking forward to being there. Good to always talk to you.
All right. That's our first ever champion in Funny Car Chaos, and he did it not once, he did it 3 times in a row, and a great champion and a great gentleman. We are happy that we were able to get him on tonight. So you picked up on that, right? He doesn't spend a whole lot of time thinking about what the other guy is doing, but you do have to think a bit about it some, because you don't want to underestimate the person in the other lane. Those surprises don't result in happy things. So our second champion in Funny Car Chaos came along and claimed the championship in 2022 and did it in an astoundingly dominating fashion. And so when we come back from our next break, which is coming up here in just a moment, going to get a chance to hear from Quick Lane Kirk Williams, as he will be our next guest on Chaos Live right after this.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
Kirk Williams joins us on this Wednesday night Chaos Championship Finals of Funny Car Chaos Edition. Kirk, it's been a while since we've seen you on the show, but it's always great to talk with you. Welcome to Chaos Live.
Hey, how you doing, Dave? It's good to be back.
Man, it has been quite the year, and once again, here we are going into the championship finals. There's a Williams Brothers car in the hunt for the championship, and it comes down to just a matter of a few points at the championship finals. And so it's good to see you guys in the hunt once again. You guys started, if I'm remembering correctly, you came to Funny Car Chaos for the first time at Ennis in 2021, I think.
Yep.
And that first season has led to a whole lot of things, 18 final rounds and 11 wins. What brought you to Funny Car Chaos?
Just, wanted to go race somewhere different. I mean, everybody knows we ran NHRA for years, and I just happened to be sitting around one night and seen a live stream of Funny Car Chaos, and I think that they was down somewhere in Texas because Ken was supposed to race a fuel car. I don't recall who it was, but I had watched this whole thing go, and I was like, my God, an alcohol can compete here with these nitro cars. So we just got together and went down to Mocan and watched it down there, and was just impressed on how everything went and how everybody, just people were so nice, which I have never met a bad drag racer, really, honestly, as far as family drag racing goes. But we talked to Chris, and he kind of laid out what things was, and come the next year we decided let's do this. So we did.
Well, and yeah, you did. And it was, I got to tell you, it was so fun. As somebody that's been with this from the beginning, it's always fun to see new cars show up, and, you know, different cars show up and make different impressions. It didn't take long for you guys to, to make a statement. It's like, okay, these guys didn't come for a car show. These guys came to get in the winner's circle.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Well,
that was the whole point of it. And, you know, Ken didn't make it easy, but he sure made it a lot of fun, you know. And I think, you know, that's what brought us there, seeing he was there and able to compete. And then we came in, and it's just, we hope that we was able to draw more of these people in as they seen how good this series was.
Well, I think there's no doubt that, seeing the way y'all ran and the way Ken ran and the way several others did, that the numbers would continue to add up. And we're way over 200 cars, teams that have run in Funny Car Chaos over the years. That's just still an astounding statistic to me. Cody Chatfield at Mocan became the 73rd driver to take home one of those trophies that Alan Meyer creates. And so, you know, just spreading around that goodness has been so much fun, you know, rule number one. And I see you guys, and, fun is rule number one. Of course, you're there to win, but I'm really impressed with the family element that you guys come down and, you know, you bring your own Holiday Inn with you, and you guys are there to race. And it's not about the vacation, but you guys have a great time. And, you know, you've got a group that you typically camp out with, so to speak. And you guys have a lot of fun. So your family dynamic, have y'all raced as a family all the time that way?
I mean, Dave, I was born in racing, and when my father stock car raced, well, he was drag race and then went to stock car race, and then my brothers took on to drag racing. I mean, I've literally been in racing going on 62 years in about a week. I mean, it's just, and that's what it's always been, is the family. I mean, it was my dad, my uncle, then my dad, my brothers, and now it's me and my brothers. And then when me and my brothers took over, you know, a lot of people don't know, but the crew we have with us has been with us for 25 years. So there is, other than our new guy that we had, Steve, because we had one of them pass away, Dan, but everybody's been with us for 25 years. So everybody's family, and that's what makes it so fun, is everybody knows what everyone's thinking. And it's like you said, rule number one is to have fun. Rule number two is to eat. Rule number three is to drink after the win.
Well, I'm glad you guys have got the rules down, and I know that you follow them really well, and I appreciate the hospitality that you've extended to me on several occasions. And so, all right, so here we are. It is one race left in the season. It is championship finals. It's not your first rodeo by any stretch of the imagination. As a past champion and a guy that has a chance to add another one of those, even though it's an odd-numbered year, what's the mindset?
Well, Dave, I don't know how much of a chance we really have, but I'll promise you we're coming to win. I mean, that's always first and foremost. It's just the new car that has really, what I want to say, it's put up a fight to get it to come around. It's just amazed all of us how two cars, I mean, that were allegedly identical, it does not like anything the old car had on it. I mean, as far as tune-up wise, gear ratio wise, I mean, that's what's been the struggle with this car, is it should have followed that same path as the other one because all the other ones did. This one didn't. So it's kind of like having the unruly child in the family, won't follow what everybody else did. But here in the last couple of races, we've kind of got onto what this car seems to want more of, and it wants higher ratios put into it, and which is very odd, but because we've never had to dealt with that. And so you could see by the last race we went to, it did respond to it, and the car did run well. So this weekend, we're headed down to the Midwest Drag Racing Series to kind of build on this, so we can kind of hopefully bring it into Union Grove up in Wisconsin the next week to hopefully finish out with a win.
All right. Yeah. And talking with you guys at that last race, it seems like it seems like the new car. And I was talking with you and Chris, and the difference in that body that you got and all those things that you're talking about. It's a new puzzle when you bring a new horse to run. It's a new puzzle on getting all those things figured out. Now, you did get back to the final round at Mocan, so that was some familiar turf for you.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. So it seems like some progress is you guys are getting back towards that, towards that groove.
It is. It is getting back there. I mean, it's like I said, we've finally got onto what this car really wants, and it just wants higher ratios. So that's what we keep sticking to the transmission. Just stick another higher ratio, and then finally it's starting to come around. So, it's just, it's a process that you got to go through, unfortunately. And this one here has been a little longer than we wanted, but hey, as long as at the end of the day, the car is working the way it should, come next year, it should come out strong and be extremely competitive. Not that it isn't now, because it is, but it'll even be more competitive.
Well, it had gotten to the point, Kirk, that when we would see, your Firebird come up, it was going to put down a good lap every single time down the racetrack. And so for some, it was a little bit surprising to see you going to a new vehicle. Of course, we've had Murph McKinney on here before, and he talks about how quickly things can become obsolete. It didn't seem like your old car was obsolete, but it was apparently time for an update.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to build one last car where everything was brand new. Everything. There's not a used piece on that car except it's the same transmission and motor. Other than that, everything's brand new. And everything does have a cycle to it, but my oldest brother Randy, he's come back to helping us, and he's a hell of a welder and a good fabricator, right along with my other brother Chris, and along with the other guys too, Terry and Marcus. They're all good. And everybody decided, let's do it one more time. Let's build one last car and make everything new. Now, I ain't saying it was a good idea. I'm saying we decided to do it.
Well, it's what you got now. You're sticking with it and making progress. Now, yeah. You've raced a long time. You've raced a lot of places. Is Union Grove a place that you've been before?
Yep.
Okay.
I was there back in, I want to say, it had to be in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, running super gas. We had our Maverick. We was up there for a race.
All right. So you've been there. I know this will be my first time, and it'll probably be the first time for several of our competitors. But a good track that has been around for a long, long time. It is something I've been looking forward to get a chance to go up there and experience that racetrack. So you're going to get to experience it again. Hey, man, best of luck to you and the family going into the championship finals. I know that people have been listening with keen interest to hear the thoughts of a champion, and you're definitely that, sir. So thank you for being a part of Chaos Live tonight.
Well, I appreciate it, Dave. Thank you very much for having me on.
All right. So Kirk Williams has added some sage advice to aspiring racers, and not only aspiring racers, but people that are out there trying to get it done right now. And so great advice, great wisdom there. And as they are planning to race this weekend, they're not staying at home. They're racing this weekend to try to get a little bit more, wring a little more performance and consistency out of that 200 proof Monte Carlo. And so they're expecting to come in hot to Great Lakes Dragway. So we have our next champion that will be coming up after the break. And that is going to be none other than Made in America Tom Furches from out in Colorado. He'll be coming up right after this message from our sponsor.
Taylor Motorsports Products is your first stop for quality safety equipment for your car or your driver. All of our safety equipment products are made in our facility in Albany, Oregon. From custom fit fire suits to racing seat belts, supercharger restraints, engine diapers, transmission blankets, and many other must-have items. Our racing history runs deep. We are racers building the finest safety equipment for racers. And we're a proud supporter of the Chaos.
And we are back. Looks like we are shifting the order, as or maybe we're not, as I was anticipating seeing Tom Furches, but looks like we have got Shane Lawson. Shane, you are muted, my friend.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Well, that's okay. I was anticipating seeing. Oh, we got an echo. Do you have two things on in there?
I don't think so.
Well, we can try it. That's a little better. It's less volume. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So our current champion in the world of funny car chaos racing, Fast Lane Shayne Lawson, joins us from Porter, Oklahoma. And we are going into that championship finals with the Man of War 2 Mustang in the chase for a second consecutive championship. Welcome to the show, Shane. We're glad to have you on. And I know you are looking forward to the weekend in Wisconsin.
Yes, we are. It's been a little struggle this year, though. We've had some, parts failures at the last few races. It's kind of bit us. That's put us behind the 8 ball. But obviously, it's not our first rodeo to be in this situation. So it's going to be a tough battle with Brian Zimmer and Justin up above us. Obviously, we came in like this last year, but the cards can fall right, and if we can do our job, we can get back on top.
Yeah, last year was, I tell you, for you last year, that had to be one of the most exhilarating weekends, maybe ever, as to come in and have it be so tight and have things fall just like they had to for you to be the champion. Reflect back on that. What was that like?
I won't lie, it was very stressful, especially with like the shootout going on. Plus, Pamela was there racing the junior. We're trying to win the championship. We're trying to win the shootout. Obviously, I was trying to sweep the deal at the same time, which that was my fault. We didn't do that, but it was very stressful, and it was just like, man. Then plus I had to depend on other people to do things to make it all line up, and there was nothing I could do with some of those guys except for the fact that they're in the B or C field, which in theory I can't be a blocker or I can't take them out myself due to the fact because they're in the B or C field.
Well, it was great fun, and you have been a terrific champion, and you have come out. Came out swinging the first part of the season. You were on a roll and stayed number one for quite some time. Your first race that I remember was 2020 MoCan, and that was where you guys first made it to a Funny Car Chaos event as a competitor, isn't it?
Yes, we because I was still running my top dragster at the time, and we got the Funny Car finally put together, and Yeah, we debuted at the 2020 Mocan race, and then we ended up going to San Antonio after that one. Just kind of got our feet wet a little bit of the series because we had heard a lot about it and how fun it was and how great Chris and Tara were and how, all the races were like a big family and it was like back to old school drag racing. And once we went to Mocan and San Antonio, that's when I decided to park the dragster and go funny car racing again.
Well, this that makes this the 6th year that you've been racing in Funny Car Chaos competition, and I got to tell you, I speak for myself only, but I know that there's an awful lot of people that feel the same way I do. That the addition of your team, your family, and the merry little band that you guys bring to the racetrack all the time, it has been so much fun, and and to see you guys go from trying it there with that Spitzer car that you were running, and then swapping it out for the car that you run now. You guys have made that move that a champion does, and we kind of alluded to this with Kirk and with Ken. When you're going to be a champion racer, you're not going to accidentally get there, are you?
Oh no, it's nothing's accident when you get that far into the game. It's definitely a lot of work, a lot of preparation, and I've kind of always stuck with the rule of thumb of what Randy Meyer taught me of, races are won in the shop on all your preparation there, because like Ken said earlier, it's at least we don't. I don't like to work on it at the racetrack either if we don't have to, obviously, and you're supposed to do all your work in the shop and race at the racetrack, so I try to be as prepared as possible where we don't have to do that. I mean, yes, there is things that happen. But I try to run, a class act program where when we show up, we roll out of the box, we put the push rods in it, and we're ready to go to the start line.
Yeah, well, it has been fun to watch, and you guys certainly hold yourselves to a high standard of performance, and really in everything that you guys do. So it's not a shock that you guys quickly moved up and into a championship position. So you've got the opportunity this year to make it 2 in a row. Your record, you've had 9 final rounds with 5 wins, and you and your family races with you. I tell you, you guys, I think, Shane, you must be a glutton for punishment because you're not only running your car there, but you've also got the junior dragster to race at several of the events. And I know that matters a lot to you to have the family there and to have them enjoying doing what you guys do together.
Absolutely, yes. I'll be honest with you. I enjoy running on Pamela just as much as I do my own stuff. It's a lot of fun, and to see how much she's progressed in herself in the racing side of things. She's come a long ways, and I look forward to going with her just as much as my deal. And if she keeps progressing the way she's progressing, I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose my seat, in due time, which I'm okay with. My dad gave up his seat for me as well. So, and of course my son, he's been asking as well about potentially getting a junior, but he's still a bit on the wild side. So I'm still a little hesitant to get him something quite yet, but it's coming. But yes, eventually it'll be both of them in the junior program. Of course, my wife always comes to what she can, but she started teaching this year, so it's a little tougher for her to make it now. Like none of them will be in Union Grove, but there's all Mocan. But yes, we try to make it a family affair, just like Kirk and them do, and that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, is it's one big family. Have fun, like Kirk said, have fun and eat and go to the winner's circle.
So I've asked everybody so far, have you been to Union Grove before? I don't know if you've raced there or not.
I have not. That's one track that I have not been to yet. I heard it's a pretty nice facility. I heard it's a good track, so I'm pretty excited about being there. Looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get in that winner's circle, and hopefully some other guys don't go do so well, and we can wrap it up again. But it's going to be a tough road.
It is definitely going to be a tough road for all of you that are in contention for this championship. But that's one of the things that keeps us coming back, that keeps us wanting more, is the fact that you guys who bring your cars, you guys that bring your teams and compete, regardless of whether you're trying to be the fastest guy in the house or whether you're running what your budget will allow. Got a chance to win the championship, and boy, it just keeps the racers coming back, and the fans just absolutely love it. How's it been this year for you as the champion? Meeting with the fans and having them come out to see the Man of War and to talk with the champ.
It's been good. It's definitely different once you get that number one on the side, especially when it comes to even like sponsorship stuff and things of that nature. It obviously you get recognized a lot more. Obviously fans recognize you a lot more. They recognize the car, recognize the name. It's been good. It's been really good. It's been really fun. Obviously I would love to repeat that again. Like I say, it's going to be a very tough road, especially with Brian and Keith and A-Field both running extremely, extremely well. And I don't get to watch much of Justin because obviously we're not in the B or C field with him, but it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it is. So you've got a lot of experience in top alcohol dragster, nearly world champion in that, and racing the top dragster and all the other activities, and plus you're following in your father's footsteps as a racer. So this family deal is a huge deal. Now, commitment. I talk with this about everybody because I think it's a key to a championship mindset, and that's the commitment to overcome adversity. And you guys have had some of that this year, and so I know it's been I know it's tough, but we've seen you persevere. So speak to that mindset of commitment to overcome adversity.
Well, just like when we've had all these issues here lately, it's just like I told the guys, I said, hey, it's the last one of the year. We just got to put our head down like we did last year, and we got to go over this thing from head to toe, front to back, side to side, and make sure everything's ready to go, make sure there is absolutely nothing that can go wrong, and, just be on our A game the best that we can and do the best that we can, and hopefully the cookie crumbles our way. But yes, it does make it nerve-wracking, and I'll be honest, it was a little disappointing when we had some parts failures because we were running very well and should be in a better position that we really are in right now. But that's drag racing. That's why we run at the racetrack, not on paper. But at the end of the day, it's part of the game, and we went probably 3 years without any major setbacks or catastrophes. So it's like, I guess our time's up and we're due, I guess. So here we are trying to overcome all that, but we're going to put our head down to the grind and see if we can get it done.
Well, the dream is still alive. You've got a chance going into the finals to repeat as champion, and we know that you guys will bring your best effort as you always do. Shane, thank you so much for taking time out to visit with all of us in Chaos Nation. We are looking forward to seeing you at Great Lakes Dragaway and see how this championship finals shakes out.
I appreciate it, man. We're looking forward to seeing you guys, and good luck to everybody when we get there.
All right, fantastic. Shane Lawson, everybody, your 2024 Funny Car Chaos champion in an amazing championship finals victory at Mocan Dragway there last year. You've heard him say that it's going to be tough without the whole family being there at Great Lakes Dragaway, but one thing you can anticipate is they will bring the car, they will bring the tune-up, they will have themselves ready to go. They're doing all the work before they get to the racetrack so they can get to the track and just put the numbers on the board and turn the wind lights on and give themselves the best chance possible to take a second consecutive championship. So we've talked to 3 of our 4 champions. We've got 1 to go, and hopefully he's in the waiting room right now. And if so, we'll have Tom Furches when we come back from our break after this word from our sponsors.
Driven Racing Oil's GP1 Nitro 70. Trusted by top engine builders, winning racers, and devoted horsepower enthusiasts across the world. Driven takes legendary base oils, such as the ones from Brantford, Pennsylvania, which comprise our GP1 line. Then, we boost that superior base oil with state-of-the-art additive packages. Driven's GP1 Nitro 70 not only provides anti-wear protection, but can shield cylinders from washout and fuel dilution caused by methanol or nitro-based fuel. Learn more about Driven Racing Oil by following us on Facebook or Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or shop now at drivenracingoil.com.
Hey, we are back, and we have our 2023 champion all the way back from Littleton, Colorado. Tom Furches, we haven't seen you in a while, but it is sure good to see you. Welcome to Chaos Live.
Thank you, David. It's great to see you.
Well, I go back to 2018, Amarillo Dragway. First time we got a chance to see the Made in America car. And, of course, one of the things that would always happen then and still happens is seeing who's on the pre-entry list. And, that red, white, and blue car certainly makes an impression. And you made an impression at Amarillo Dragway. You had some highs and had some lows at that event. And so you decided to come Funny Car Chaos Racing, did that race at Amarillo. And what was that first experience like?
Well, it was a tough experience. Amarillo in 2018 was approximately 103 degrees. And we weren't exactly set up for a weekend out in the sun. So it was difficult at best. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but I was a little concerned. I was like, if this is the chaos experience, I think we're going to have to regroup and get a little bit better supplies and prepare ourselves a little bit better if we want to do this as a competitive endeavor.
Well, we are excited that you chose to come back and you began to experience more of the chaos vibe. And I think you kind of got the bug that this is something that I can win at. Now, you've had previous championships before racing in Funny Car Chaos with, I believe you were champion in Rocky Mountain Superchargers. Is that right?
Yeah, two-time champion with Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, and so, it wasn't like you hadn't experienced the grind of going through a championship season and coming away with the trophy. But, man, Tom, when you decided and made that commitment to go for the championship, there wasn't any way of denying that you were coming at it hard. And I'm looking at the records. You've got 9 final round appearances with 7 wins. That's probably the best winning percentage of, it's not the best winning percentage of everybody that's ever raced, but for somebody that has 9 finals, that's a pretty dadgum good record right there. So 7 out of 9 times in the final, you took home the trophy, and were a contender at every race once you guys made the commitment. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm most definitely a competitive individual. I like other champions that we've talked to tonight. We go to win. If we're going to make the effort and we're going to take the time to put our stuff together and get to where we need to be, our goal is to turn on win lights. And it's important. It's important to us. To me personally, competition, I want to be the best on the property. And in chaos, I've had to change my ideas and modify them a little bit because I'm not a screw car. I'd like to be a screw car. We were really, really close to being a screw car, but I was outbid for my screw opportunity. And someday we may be. It's not in the cards right now. But competition is what fuels my drive. And in Funny Car Chaos, there is a ton of competition. Every year, it goes down to the final race. You've got good cars, good competitors, good people working at a very high level to do the best they can to compete and find their place in chaos. And we're very fortunate, very, very blessed with what we've been able to achieve with Funny Car Chaos and look forward to doing it in the future.
Well, I know that's good news for the many, many Made in America fans and many, many Funny Car fans out there to know that there's a little bit more Made in America and Team Furches in the future. That is great news. I look at that championship season in 2023, and I go back to the year before, 2022. You were close. That was one of those years that I mean, it once again, it came down to the end of the season, but you came in second by very, very little. And I got the sense that really stoked the fire in you to make 2023 the year.
Well, there are certain things that have to happen to win a championship. A few things have to go your way. Of course, there's hard work, there's dedication, there's effort that's put into to make things work correctly and try and win. 2022, we were close, we were competitive. I think more than anything, Dave, did it light a fire? Maybe so. But it proved to me and my team that it was possible, that you don't have to have a screw car to be ultimately competitive to win a championship. And it just gave us more drive than we already had. I mean, if you're finishing in the top 10 in Funny Car Chaos, you have the drive. You have the want. You have the will to win. Maybe certain things didn't go your way or whatever the case was. But if you're in the top 10 in a point series of this nature that's this competitive with this group of people trying to be competitive and successful, you're working towards the goal. Whether you achieve it or not, it's hard to say what the cause was. But for us being a roots car up against screw cars, it gave us challenges. And I've always said 2023, my main goal as a team, not just a driver or an owner, was to make sure that I didn't line up against a 3-second car first round. And I know a lot of people didn't favor my attitude or methods upon doing that, but it was important for us as a team moving towards first round of competition. Qualifying is important. Qualifying points are important. Being competitive is important. But not having a screw blower on the manifold is a challenging factor to try and win a Chaos championship. So we had to modify our aspects and our attitude to make sure that we didn't overstep our bounds and set ourselves up in a position that we didn't want to be in.
Well, you definitely became a master of that. I know that seeing you guys at the banquet, family is huge to you, as you have made it a point to honor your wife and your kiddos and your teammates that helped you at the racetrack. That's a lot of work to get it done through the season. It takes a lot of dedication. It's a lot of sacrifice on a lot of people's parts. And I really loved the way that you as the champion made sure that everybody that contributed to that in a lot of different ways was recognized. That I think that's one of the things that is extremely inspiring about your performances.
Well, for my position is a little bit different than most teams. Family is super important, but my family is not specifically race driven. Do they enjoy attending the races and being part of the races and helping out where they can and help in ways that maybe other people can't? But my father has passed, so now he was an engineer by trade, and he obviously passed certain aspects of his mentality on to me that I do what I can with. But I don't have a large team, and I think that's super important. The three other champions that have been on the program tonight, they all come to the starting line with a army of people. And I'll never forget 2023 when we won the championship in Baton Rouge. Shayne Lawson won the A field. We had to mix up the order because we were having some issues. And the amount of people that came to the starting line with Shayne Lawson, and I forget who he was running, but he won. And was cheering for Shayne. Truly impressive. Something that I look up to, because when we won the championship in 2023, there were three guys, myself, Chuck, and Joe, that made that car do everything it needed to do to become successful. We didn't have 10, 12, 14 people. And I just look at those guys and I'm like, how do you bring that many people? It'd be chaos in the pit for us because we're not accustomed to it. It's different for us. So being a small team, maybe we have to work a little harder. Maybe we don't. It's all in the eye of the beholder. But no matter what you're given or what you have to work with, if you work hard enough, you can have success. And I think our team is a good proof of that.
So as a champion, with several more people in the position that you were in, going to a championship finals event, what's your advice?
I think Shane hit it on the nose real well. Make sure that the machine is ready to go. And the other thing is, for all the people that are vying for a championship, I don't know Brian all that well, but this isn't their first rodeo. They're tried and true in their aspects of their job and their performance, and try not to escape your job. You've got crew members, you've got crew chiefs, you've got car chiefs, you've got everybody doing their job and they're working towards the same goal. Let them do their jobs. Let them be successful in what they do. And as a driver, focus on your skill sets and focus on what you can control to make the team successful. From my vantage point, I always said, from inside the race car, my world was the size of a basketball. If it didn't exist inside of that basketball, as a driver, it just plain doesn't exist. Your vision is limited. Your hearing is limited. All aspects of normal function are very, very limited. So I'm relying on my team to be successful. They did their jobs without failure, and that helped the car and the team to be without failure. And from my perspective, I always put a lot of focus on myself. Just don't screw it up for the team. The team has put a ton of effort, just as much time as the owner or the driver in this situation. But yet that one guy has the great opportunity to ruin everything in one quick opportunity.
There's a lot of responsibility that falls on everybody, even when it comes down to it on the racetrack. The driver can go from hero to zero or zero to hero really fast. Well, Tom, I know that you have inspired a lot of people in the world of funny car chaos racing, and we appreciate that. It's good to have you joining all the rest of the champions here tonight, and we thank you for your insights. And, once again, it's good to see you. I hope we get the chance to see you at the racetrack again one of these days. We had a chance to see you helping some people out a time or two this year, and that was such a joy. But we hope to see you again.
David, it's great to be on the show. I really wasn't expecting to be on a Funny Car Chaos Live in 2025, so that's pretty fun. Helping Tony out in Tucson I was really looking forward to that. Mother Nature got in the way of making that happen. You will see Joe Percoco behind the wheel for the Fuel Altered Chaos in Tucson in November. We'll be there in attendance with Joe's car. And you'll see Made in America in 2026.
Great news, and you got the scoop right here on Chaos Live. Tom, thank you again. We appreciate you being here, and we can't wait till we see you guys down at Tucson for Fuel Altered Chaos.
Thank you, David.
All right, race fans, there you have it. We had our conversations with all four Funny Car Chaos champions. And we are going to come back after this word from our sponsors, and we'll put a bow on this one. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Spell Paving Services provides professional customer service and performance for your next industrial or large-scale private paving project. From parking lots, roads, and driveways to seal coat, chip seal, concrete, and asphalt, there's no job too big for the team at Spell Paving Services. Serving a 500-mile radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, Spell Paving Services has you covered. Call 214-384-3056 to get a competitive quote today and tell them the Chaos sent you.
It is always fun to be here on Chaos Live and to spend some time with all of you out there in Chaos Nation. We had the opportunity to visit with four champions, all four of our champions that have been in Funny Car Chaos competition and came away with the title. And will there be a new champion this year? Well, I would have to say that the odds are certainly good for a 5th champion to be named. However, we've got a couple of guys that would like to make it a 2nd championship. One would like to make it 2nd in a row. The other one would just like to make it their 2nd one. But however it shakes out, it's going to be a great time at Great Lakes Dragway. You know, that's one of those places we talking about a little bit earlier, about one of those places I've been reading about and seeing on the video. I tell you, in terms of the amount of video footage that's on YouTube, Great Lakes Dragway probably has as much or more than any place in the world. It's just there's something on there all the time. But it's a place where my original favorite funny car racer, where his funny car career came to an end. I'm talking about Kelly Chadwick. His Chevy Vega funny car in 1973 blew a freeze plug, got water into the tires, and had an accident there. And that was the end of that funny car, and that was the end of Kelly Chadwick's days in the world of funny cars. So that was, sad for those of us that were Kelly Chadwick fans. Trip Shoemake was doing the driving that night. And so that was where one chapter ended. And for those of you that follow Chaos, you probably already know that Great Lakes Dragway is where Jeanette Desjardins got her start. So she's going back for kind of a homecoming of sorts. And we will look forward to seeing Jeanette, car checks, and all of our supporters, Mel Roth at the Funny Car Chaos, Nitro Chaos trailer there. And we hope to see you, and yes, I really do mean you. If you can't attend in person, we will be live streaming it. But if you can make it, man, it's going to be a championship finals event par excellence. And then the weekend after that, we're going to go to Havana, and that is going to be the Nitro Chaos Championship Finals. I see, this is Wednesday. We are going to be the Wednesday after the Funny Car Chaos Finals at Great Lakes Dragway. We'll be back here that Wednesday with an episode of Chaos Live to do a Nitro Chaos Championship Finals preview. It's also just as close, just as tight on the Nitro Chaos side. And so we want to talk about that. We want to talk about it with you. So I hope you have a great week. I thank you for tuning in tonight. Brian, I want to thank you for all your help there. And we will look forward to seeing you next time on Chaos Live. And remember, be kind, be well, be awesome. We'll see you at the track.
Race fans, get ready. The inaugural Fuel Altered Chaos rocks historic Tucson Dragway Friday night and Saturday, November 14th and 15th. Ground-pounding fuel altered from across the country go into 200-mile-per-hour combat with historic names like the Mob, Rat Poison, Bradford's Fiat, and Sheepherder. Take on new school hitters like Cone Hunter, Witch Doctor, Blown Scentless, and many more. See Bodacious Backup Girl, Header Flame, and Run What You Brung. Drag racing like Tucson hasn't seen in decades.
Kids 12 and under are free. Visit TucsonDragway.com for more information.
November 14th and 15th. Be there!